Good morning, everyone, and I hope that you're doing well. Just woke up from a very disturbed sleep again. I must tell you, I've been encountering so many messages every single night. Messages come during the day as well. And if you live in this war situation, you just see them in front of you. You feel them. I don't even know how to explain this atmosphere because I've never experienced before, maybe for a hot moment. But the feeling here is that everything is just standing still. The universe has moments of showing us like the calm before the storm. And I really mean it. And it's a calm before not only a physical storm, it's a calm before a spiritual storm. And these messages and the people I encounter and things that happen during the day, and wow, overwhelming, but yet in a curious way. It raises your curiosity to levels. It's like your soul just wanting to be done with this game, come out and tell you what's supposed to happen. I was thinking before I went to bed about how the ego energies can sometimes consume and take credit over someone's kind acts. Sometimes we can choose the right thing and we can choose to do a nice act, and during this act the ego can just come in, find the spot and settle. For example, many of us can do good things, but deep inside we're doing the good things so people can give us credit, or so we can brag, or so we can show off, or so people can talk about us. And the bigger the act we do, the better people talk about us. So you know that there's some sort of ego involved in your nice, kind act. Because giving is always going to be a kind act. You're giving from something you have, you're sharing, you don't have to share. That's nice. But then, if you get into the politics of things, like for example, and I'm going to tell you a short little example. I speak to a lot of people every day, and some of them speak to me, and some of them are creators themselves. Some of them are into spirituality for many, many, many years and have acquired a huge following and doing a great job in their own journey. And I just recently had a podcast with the most famous, I guess, most popular rabbi on YouTube. And it wasn't because I want everybody to see that, because he's popular. No, I wanted to challenge. I wanted to ask questions that are going to represent everyone who's not necessarily Jewish or not necessarily religious. And that's my thing about my podcast, is I want to have a broad a broad way of subjects that I can bring up with these people I talk to. And the funny thing is that there's some people that I contact, they just automatically check the size of your following and the size of how many articles you've had before and how many people you spoke to before prior to agreeing to be in your podcast. And I look at myself and I tell them straightforward. It's like, are you doing it to spread light, or are you doing it to spread likes and shares and popularity? Because if you really, in the end of the day, you don't care about the core of the issue or the content that I want to talk about, but yet you're talking about popularity, they just want to boost your own ego. So some people will do kind things in life, but also for the purpose of boosting their ego. Some people can say, I'm sorry, I love you, just so you can already forgive them and move on. That doesn't mean they mean it. That means they just wanted to serve themselves. When you give, when you're kind, I'm the type of person who like to pay in the drive-thru for the car behind me and just take off fast. I don't even want to hear their thank yous. I don't want them to know it was me. You want to plant something for somebody who's in need and leave the scene and disappear. You don't want to leave trace of what you did, because you don't want to boost your own ego. You want to give and finish. So some people who I try to speak to, who are, I think that, and I care about my followers. I want my followers to experience everything, to hear everything, to see everything, to hear other opinions. And I want to bring the best. But yet, for the best, it's like if you don't have a minimum followers of 50,000 people, then you're not good enough for them to talk to you. And to me, it's silly. If I could, and I can, technically, it's just that I also have a life that I have to balance. But if I could, I would sit there 24/7 just speaking. People can go to sleep and wake up and go to work and come back, and I'll still be speaking. If you share light, it doesn't matter the amount of followers you have. It doesn't matter if people share or like or subscribe, unless it's something that we really need big awareness for, so we share. So we want to make sure that it gets to as many people. But to be able to speak spirituality, to be able to speak metaphysically, and at the same time start counting followers and traffic, I don't know, to me it doesn't make any sense. The more the days go by, I realize the transformation I've done in my life, or the transformation that happened in my life, being the physical warrior, literally the physical warrior, to a spiritual warrior, to somebody who's on 100% full disability, like me, physical disability, and at the same time, I feel like I'm 24/7 just fighting spiritual battles. I let my soul run free in the wilderness of the physical life. That's the best description I can find. I let my soul run free in the wilderness of life. Because if you hold your soul on a leash, you'll be able to spark some moments of some small victories here and there, but you can't expand too much. Let it go. Let it go and manifest. In times like this, like a war here, like global changes, energies, this is the time to sit back and manifest. This is the time to meditate from everywhere you are. And I'm going to give you one more tip. And this is something a lot of people don't know about me. But growing up, till my late 20s, I used to sing. I'm a singer. I used to sing all my life on stages, and I used to also host a talent show before my spiritual awakening. Music, singing is my life. And I'm telling you, everybody loves singing. That's why you have people who only sing in the shower. Have you ever thought why? Not even one person in this world doesn't like, even people who think they don't have a good voice, they still want to sing. They want to hear singing. And there's a reason for it. There's a deep spiritual reason. It's one of the ways to connect, to tap into our soul. See, we have to find out, like, if a soul is a locked, secure dungeon, we have to try to find any approach we can to tap into it. Some people don't ever tap into it until they become parents for the first time in their lives. They've found an avenue that is as clear as the sky up there. Some people do it through music, some people do it through meditation, some people do it through an event that happened to them. It doesn't matter how you do it. Time is ticking. The world is going through a spiritual awakening itself, and we can never stay behind. Regardless of faith and religion, it doesn't matter. I always tell people that's not even a subject of argument. Let people find their light the way they're meant to find their light. And one last thing, I want myself to release myself from terminologies that are almost limiting to a group of people or beliefs of faith. Don't use the word karma, okay? It's your soul contract. Okay, don't just recite words that sometimes you don't even understand their meaning because they're not in your language. If you want to give a spiritual explanation to your life, find terms or even make up terms in your own language, so you can really truly get to know and always have it in the back of your head what you're supposed to do. Karma is simply soul contract. And they say karma reaction is how you react to your soul contract. And karma memories is what your soul remembers about your soul contract. So you know that our soul knows our life from A to Z while it's in the womb. This awareness, as we grow physically, we forget it spiritually. But there is a vice versa to it. As you decrease physically, as you feel like you can't physically enough contribute to the world, then you need to start doing it spiritually. So, wow, okay, this is a reality where I can't even balance. There is no physical. People hardly go to work. There's nothing going on here in a war zone. You just sit and think and consume and help and figure out and contemplate spiritually with yourself. Really contemplate with yourself. And having these energies at the same time makes me so happy. Because when you know there's a higher reason for all of it, you're not scared. You are thrilled. Two different things. Planning to go live tonight. And it's still supposed to happen, but again, I don't like planning. I plan so people can tune in. There's divine timing for everything, and things change rapidly. Things change with my health rapidly, as you all know. We're still trying to go back to America. We're dealing with hurdles and obstacles after obstacles after obstacles. In order to do that, we'll have to go and live in a third country for a few months, and then get tickets to America, and then leave everything here. We can't afford it, and it's okay that we can't. It's totally okay. But feel free to check our link if you want to contribute to evacuation fund. And again, contributing does not mean, I don't care if you donate or not. It doesn't matter. People can do what they can, what they feel like doing. But when it comes to the sharing, if you can share this, that would help us a lot. There's a lot of personal things behind the scene that I can't really go into details, but it's really sad. There's a family here that have been torn apart because of a war, and we were just had a very good, big, master, peaceful plan to do it in a couple of years to come, a year to come, and now it's been forced on us. And together with my stepdaughter, that's 6 children. They needed me healthy and safe and providing and going back there, but these are minor things compared to what's going on here. What's going on here is impossible to explain in words. I believe that everyone here with faith knows and feels that something big is going on. And if you feel it, embrace that feeling, because that's the only way you'll be able to manifest it in your own life. We all have salvation, both personal and collective. We just need to know it. We need to keep being spiritual. There's a lot of shift. There's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of interruption in the balance. But I'm telling you, if up until now, up until yesterday when I had a conversation with this beautiful soul one-on-one who's also feeling the same thing, up until yesterday I knew beyond any shadow of a doubt how much the angels do for us and how much they visit us and how important their role in our lives is. But since yesterday, the angels are here to stay. They didn't just come to visit. They come and they're ever present everywhere. Most likely, and the majority of it is in our physical consciousness, in our physical world. And there's other, though people see aliens, and there's I'll talk about it some other time in a live, that there's no really other planets or other galaxies, physical ones. It's our way to describe it because it's far. But these beings, these heavenly beings, these created divine beings, are all, for some cosmic reason, gathering around our earth. gathering in the gates of our consciousness. We must be ready. Not for something scary, not for something bad. We must be ready for something different. We must be ready to remove the curtain that humanity has been used to since its beginning. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and listening. I pray for all of you daily. I think of all of you daily. I send you guys light daily, even when I don't use this phone or don't go on this website. Thank you for watching and listening, and if you have any questions, anything at all, feel free to ask. Better via email, because I hardly read comments. I do a lot of things during the day, and all of them for spiritual purposes. And sometimes with all the posts that I post, it's very hard to see comments. But what's meant to be seen will be seen. Thank you so much. God bless, and have a